Hey guys, Jess from Knockout Print Shop, and today I have for you a review on the 2025 Inkwell Press Planner. So, as I'm sure you've noticed, I've been MIA from the planner world and the YouTube world. As I said in my last video, which was the Moxie review for 2025, I have like a big girl job now, full-time job. So I have just been kind of not in the planner world. Matt's been running the print shop and it's definitely turned more into a side hustle. But all that to say, I wanted to give you guys a quick review of the planners. So last video was Moxie, this will be Inkwell. So here in my vegan leather, I didn't get any new covers this year. This was a cover I bought years ago. I just bought the inserts, both the classic and the flex. So, and I never used Inkwell last year, but I wanted to, we do have the blank ones, so I did want to show you that so you could see things side by side and kind of see the differences. So we have this little welcome page, and then you can see here, the design is exactly the same. Nothing is changing with fonts or layouts on your cover page here. So again, this is 2025 here on the left. And again, I am like doing this in front of a window. I don't have my fancy lights, so this is not the usual Knockout Print Shop quality, but I'm taking a quick break from work. I work from home, and I just wanted to get this out for you guys. So I apologize for the lower rent version of this video, but hopefully it gives you some insights into this planner. I don't think there's anything different with the paper quality. At first, I was like thinking there was, I don't know, I'm like kind of holding my fingers up through it to see the transparency of last year's compared to this year's, and we used a micrometer to try to see, and I think it's the same. There's just something that feels like last year's paper was thicker. I haven't written on it yet, so I don't know, and I'm probably just being weird, but anyways, so here's your important dates. Let me show you last year's. So there's last year's. Fonts are the same, layout is the same. Looks like maybe the month is a tad bit smaller than it was in last year's. So again, this is last year's. I do like, she cleaned it up a lot. She finally took these bands off the top. I know most of us that are Inkwell fans did not like the bands. I love this. I think without the band it's so much better. It's just like so much white space. I totally dig it. I dig this navy. I think it's really nice and clean. So that's your important dates section, and then you get into your quarterly. So she's got this kind of like navy-ish gray situation for the annual and quarterly goals. She changed this years ago, as we all know, and I liked the old goals pages better. It's just a really awkward way to write sideways on here. This is super weird, but this is last year's when she was doing more of the Inkwell teal kind of color. I like this more monochromatic look. I think it's nice and classic and clean. Oh, you can see this is how we match colors and test colors, but then you go into your little perpetual calendar here. You can see this year's nice and clean, looks good, and this is last year's. Okay, and then we have, let me actually get to, so let's see, January is that, I don't even remember, January, February, March, hold on. Let's see, that's January, that's February. March is April, a new one. I can't remember. Yeah, there's at least 4 March. Okay, so let me get one that doesn't have stickers all over it. Okay, so I don't remember what I was gonna say. Let me just get, this will be equivalent. So this is 2025 right here. So her colors are a lot more pastel and muted. I don't know what the names are for. I can't remember. I'll try to put them down in the description. The only place you could find them was basically on a blog post on the Inkwell Press website. So I kind of dig this. It's kind of my thing, like earth tones and things like that. So I like the colors. This was last year's January. Again, I didn't use this planner, so I never got used to the colors or had an opinion on them, but I did like last year's first color, which was kind of muted, earthy tones. So there's that, and that's obviously exactly the same. Fonts are the same, layout is the same, all of that good stuff. Oh, it looks like she did take off, so you know how she usually had that like weird pattern thing, so that's not here. So this is totally solid now. If you go to the next section, which is the calendar, you can see this is last year's where she had that band at the top, and she got rid of that and relaid it out. I think this is the new one, is a much nicer layout. I like the month over in the left. This little top 5 I think is nice. It is a nice layout. It's just so clean. It just gives you so much room to like, do whatever you want with it. It's very minimal on the color standpoint, so you can go with color or not color, and all the colors are fairly muted. So again, this is last year to give you comparison, and this is this year. Okay, and then we get into, this is the classic, so this is our vertical. So you can see here, let me get you into the last year. So last year's here. So again, you have that band at the top and you have the typical colored daily boxes with your focus and notes here and your little side prompts. She changed this completely, which is like awesome because, well, some people I think liked the daily color, the boxes to be daily, the daily boxes to have color. Again, I think this just gives you, like, it's a very professional, clean look, especially if you're someone that's bringing this to work or someone that just doesn't like a ton of color in your planner, or you want to kind of impart your own creativity on it. This is giving you a lot more opportunity to do that. You still have your weekly focus and your notes, and you still have her prompts. The layout of the dates is actually the same. It's just she removed that band. I think this is a much better layout. And you can see here this feature where she has the month's color as a band on the side, which I love. But I don't know if you guys can tell in the video because it's pretty faint, but this is totally crooked. So the band is wider up here than it is down here. So this page most likely got printed crooked or got cut on an angle or something. So that's, I was gonna like reach out to them and say something, but I just like did not even care. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna use this planner this year, so I don't really care. But that's essentially the layout. So that's color one. I don't know the name of it. And then you have your notes and ramblings. So you've got, let's see, what was last year's? Again, I'm so not familiar with what anything was. Okay, so it's the same layout, notes and ramblings on the top with a dot grid on the bottom. It does look like this is a little darker dot, so it's a little easier to see. And then we had the plan and habits. So let me look at that page. And same thing. So the style is almost identical, just a few small things. Then you get to palette number 2. This is probably my least favorite. It's a little too pinky for me. But I think if I remember right, when I saw something online, she was trying to do like a spin on her 2015 colors, which was the first year they launched. And I never had that planner, but I think they were like really, there was like a bright chartreuse and the colors were a lot different. So I think this is like a subdued version of that. We've been with Inkwell literally since almost day one. We just missed the first year of 2015. I might have said 25, but I meant 2015. We started with Inkwell. As far as like which planner did I get first was the 2016. So you can see this again. I don't know the name of the color, but you see basically just one of the colors follows down on the strip. Again, that's your layout here. And then we will get to palette 3. Palette 3, so this was palette 2 last year. So palette 2 was her purpley one. Again, I have no idea what the heck the names were. And then okay, so this is palette 3 this year. So it's kind of like palette 2 last year. So this is like her purples. You got some like purpley bluish grays, and then this like neutral washed out dusty like peach color, but it's not peach. It's like kind of fleshy, but I don't mind it. I like the subdued colors. This was last year's palette number 3. So a lot more blue, kind of leaning a little more green. This is leaning like a little more purpley, if that's even a thing. Okay, so you can see this purple is followed on the band on the side. Your light purple is your accent color, but again, you don't have much color to compete with here. Let's get to the last one. So this is like, let me see what last year's was. Oh my gosh. Oh, I went too far. Hold on. It's hard when you don't have your planner in a coil. Okay, so August, which is or the fourth one, this is very bright. It kind of is, this is totally corally, reminds me of summer. I don't dislike it. I'm not a big orange person, but again, like it doesn't matter. I barely have any color to contend with, and I kind of like this peachy orange. Last year's fourth color was a lot more like green and blue. It's not picking up on camera from what I can see, but this is kind of a greenish gray. So those are your 4 colors this year. So again, that's that's color number 4. This is color palette 3. We got 2 and then 1. So they're earthy. Some of them are earthy, some of them are a little bit more vibrant. Again, I think they are something like subdued versions of the first year's, the 2015 planner. But the layout is, I actually think this is the best improvement on the layout ever. I know from what I could see, I'm not on social media anymore, so I had to like creep from the outside on social media. And she didn't talk about this that much, but I think this is the best iteration we've seen of the planner since it launched. I think the layout is great, it's clean, it's modern. It still looks like Inkwell, but it's a lot more sophisticated, and I think it's easier to work with. And then, you know, you've got your usual back here, your extras. What do we have? The gift list, the gratitude. You've got your bucket list, your monthly automation systems, your bill tracker, your project plans. And these look really nice. This contrasting navy with the white background is great. That's kind of a cool grid paper. That grid paper changed too. I got a couple packages of those. So that's pretty much it. That's the classic or the vertical. And then let me show you, hold on, I'm making a mess here. Oh no, wait, that is right, I think. Okay, got too many things here. And then this is the flex. We got the flex once we saw that she like changed the layout. We knew the line spaces were probably different and everything, so we needed to get the flex, which is the horizontal as well. I'm never gonna be able to get that off. Let me just do it like this. So her packaging is nowhere near what it used to be. It just comes in that cellophane baggie and then wrapped in like a bubble mailer, I think. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing. I think you still get those little cards, those inklings or whatever, but it's not like the packaging of Moxie. So obviously, oh, great, we have a folded page. Obviously, everything is the same here, so let me just show you. The biggest thing we want to look at is just what these side boxes look like. So you can see them there. I think the first thing off the bat I can see, which is a bit annoying, is this side, these boxes are way more narrow than this side, like visibly different. Now, I don't know, this is the first time I'm looking at this. I don't know if that's the case. It is across the board. That's lovely. So this is another complaint with Inkwell over the years. It's just like the inconsistency with the print output. Like the colors are fine, the paper is fine, the visibility is fine, but there's just such an inconsistency in quality from like the pages being, the lines being the same on each side, you know, just off cuts and off prints and things like that. So that's pretty annoying because when we make stickers for this section, which I don't think we make too many anymore, now there's gonna be like a left side section and a right side. That's just really stupid. So you can see this one actually looks like the bands are a little bit more even than in my classic that I got, but you can, it's really hard to tell on camera, but you can see here, this is like skinnier than up here. So, so basically that's it. That is the planner. I actually might try using it this year. I do like the colors. I kind of want to change from Moxie Life a little bit. Those colors are really bright. They've been the same for a long time. I've never been a fan of those bright colors, but I have liked Moxie's planner and the system, and Inkwell's just been kind of like in the background lately, you know, for the past, God, I don't know how many years it's been, a while. But, so I'm thinking of using either the Flex or the Classic this year and just trying it. I'm really excited about, you can see Matt's trying to make sure spacing is right here. I'm really excited about this new layout that's a lot cleaner, so I might try that or the Flex. But overall, I think paper quality is most likely the same. Again, the layout's a lot better with that band being gone at the top, but you're potentially going to see some inconsistencies in the widths of columns and the cuts of the pages and things like that. I can't attest to what their customer service is like anymore because I've kind of not been that involved with this company, and I kind of have heard some things that there's challenges getting back to them when there's quality control issues, but I personally can't attest to it. So, all right, guys, that is it for this video. Hope everybody's doing well, and let me know which planner you're going to use next year.